So today in this video, I'm going to be telling you everything that you need to know about moving to St. Paul. I'm going to pull up the map. I'm going to show you logistically where it is, whether you know where it is in the country, in the world, whatever. But anyway, stay tuned. We're going to get into it right now. Hi, I'm Lisa Wickman with the Wickman Realty Group in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, otherwise known as the Twin Cities. So, like I said, I'm going to share my screen with you and pull up the map. So what I want to show you, first of all, is for those of you who actually don't know where St. Paul is in the country, we are right here, St. Paul, Minnesota. To our east is Wisconsin, to our west, North and South Dakota, and south of us is Iowa. So we're going to zoom in here and kind of show you, I'm going to show you where St. Paul is, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. I have some notes that I'm going to reference because I have some stats on here. But this is where St. Paul is. And St. Paul is adjacent on the other side of the river to Minneapolis. I'm going to show you Minneapolis, which is outlined in red here. Again, St. Paul is right here. Together, they make up the Twin Cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul. But really, when we talk about the Twin Cities, there's actually 3.6 million people. And I want to show you what the Twin Cities actually is. It's actually 7 different counties: Anoka County, Washington, Ramsey, Hennepin County, Carver County, Scott County, and Dakota County. So those 7 counties make up the 7-county metro area of the Twin Cities, which is the 3.7 million in the 7-county metro area. Now, in the city of St. Paul, which is this area here, there are about 312,000 people in the city of St. Paul. The city of St. Paul is in Ramsey County, which is outlined here. So again, here is St. Paul. So it goes all the way up here, New Brighton, Mounds View, over White Bear Lake, North St. Paul, Maplewood, and back around Mendota. Well, Mendota Heights is actually outside. But anyway, Roseville, etc. So Ramsey County has about 552,000 people, residents in it. And then I want to kind of show you what that is in comparison to Minneapolis and Hennepin County. So again, Minneapolis has 430 residents, and that is actually in Hennepin County. Hennepin County is quite a bit larger than what Ramsey County was. Ramsey County was about here. This actually goes all the way, I'm going to show you a little bit more. Goes up through, there's Minneapolis, Brooklyn Center, Brooklyn Park, Osseo, Rogers, Maple Grove, Greenfield, down to St. Bonnie, Excelsior, Eden Prairie, back to Bloomington. So in Hennepin County, there are 1.2 million, or maybe 1.3 million. So anyway, we're going to go back to St. Paul. And I want to show you a little bit about how the road systems work, because I think that's important. You want to know how you get there. So if you're coming in from Wisconsin and Minnesota are separated by the St. Croix River. You come in through this main corridor of 94. 94 actually goes through downtown St. Paul, moves on through just on the edge of downtown Minneapolis, and heads out west. That will get you from point A to point B through both of the cities. Now, if you want to make a little circle around the Twin Cities, which is kind of what I want to show you, you come in through 94 again, but you take a right and go north on Oakdale, and you kind of can do this circle. You'll go north St. Paul, Little Canada. This turns from 94, moving 694 all the way along here, New Brighton, Brooklyn Center, Maple Grove. Then you can turn down 494 going south, Maple Grove, Plymouth, Minnetonka. It then comes through Eden Prairie, Bloomington, South St. Paul, Woodbury, and back to 94. So that's kind of like a major, just kind of circle of the Twin Cities, kind of the closer in third ring suburbs of both Minneapolis and St. Paul. A couple things about St. Paul. St. Paul is actually older than Minneapolis. The oldest home standing is actually from like 1850, but there's a lot of historic neighborhoods in St. Paul. There's a lot of homes that were built turn of the century in the 1880s, 90s, early 1900s, and so forth. So I'm going to kind of show you some of those as well. But what I want you to know is, first of all, St. Paul is broken up into literally 17 different neighborhoods. I have a list of them. These are the 17 different neighborhoods. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about all the details of all of these 17, but I'm going to show you where they are on the map, so you can kind of get an idea. And I'll talk a little bit briefly about a couple of these different areas. Where am I going? Back to the St. Paul map. So as I said, 94 goes right through the city. So you've got Greater East Side, Payne-Phelan, south of Maryland, north and north of Maryland, Como Park, St. Anthony Park, Summit Hill, Miriam Park, Mac Groveland, Highland Park, Irvine Park, Dayton's Bluff, Battle Creek, etc. So 17 neighborhoods, but within each of these neighborhoods are little pocket neighborhoods. And that's why it's so important that you actually reach out to us, because we know about these pocket neighborhoods and which pockets have what kind of a vibe to them and what kind of characteristics. And depending on what you're looking for, it's going to make a difference. Are you seeking on a neighborhood that's great for a family that might have a lot of other kids in the neighborhood? Or are you looking for a condominium on the river? Or, what exactly are you living? Or what exactly is it that you're looking for? A lot of these neighborhoods are very walkable. So if walkability is important to you, you need to reach out to us, because we kind of know what's going on about that. St. Paul is home to the state capitol, and I want to kind of get into a couple of the neighborhoods here. So I want to start with, in this area here, there's actually, right here is actually part of the University of Minnesota, St. Paul campus. The University of Minnesota, primarily there is the East Bank, the West Bank, which are housed in Minneapolis, and then there is the St. Paul area of the University of Minnesota. Another thing that's really close here, it actually officially isn't in St. Paul, is the Minnesota State Fair. We love our state fair. It's 12 days, right? And starts in August and ends on Labor Day. So anyway, in this area, because you have the University of Minnesota area, and there's another college there as well, I believe Luther Seminary, you'll have a lot of rental homes, a lot of staff living there, or faculty and staff of these universities. So what I really want to show you that's kind of cool about St. Paul is I want to show you. So this is the governor's mansion, built, I'm guessing, early 1900s. Summit Avenue is just kind of a fun street to check out, because it's fun to go look at all of these amazingly beautiful homes. So as you drive up and down, you'll see a lot of very expensive homes, a lot of them hidden by trees. And a lot of these homes were built in, like I said, early 1900s, early 1920s, etc. Okay, the next area that I wanted to talk to you briefly about is downtown St. Paul. Downtown St. Paul is pretty cool. Number one, you have Harriet Island right across from St. Paul. Right across from downtown St. Paul, there's a lot of concerts there. There's also the Wabash Street Caves, which are pretty cool to check out. But downtown St. Paul is home to the Children's Museum, the Science Museum of Minnesota. It also is home to the Xcel Energy Center, which is where the Minnesota Wild play, and CHS Field, which is where the St. Paul Saints play, Minnesota History Center, across the river is Harriet Island. I want to talk about a couple of different neighborhoods, and one of them is Cathedral Hill. And I just kind of want to give you an example of what the older neighborhoods look like. So I can zoom in on any of these neighborhoods, and you can too. You can zoom in on any of these neighborhoods. You can take a look at those 17 neighborhoods, zoom into the area, and really take a little walk. So I already did this on Cathedral Hill. I have this ready. And this is an example. Look at this little house here. How cute is that? That's been excavated too down there. Anyway, so you can stroll through you can kind of see what the houses are. One of the cool things about St. Paul, a lot of the homes are older than the homes in Minneapolis, and they have these amazing front porches. House after house after house has, those look like rentals. I'm sure they are, but house after house has these really awesome front porches, which are just super cool. So this kind of gives you an idea of what Cathedral Hill is like. And I want to show you another area. I want to show you this area up here, Como Park. You can't talk about St. Paul and not talk about the Como Park area. There's Como Park Zoo. There's the Como Conservatory. Both the zoo and the conservatory are actually free to get in. They just ask for donations. And a lot of people really like to live here because it's one of two swimming lakes, Como Lake. And I want to kind of show you a little bit about what the neighborhood is like here. Completely different vibe than the older neighborhood in Cathedral Hill. These houses are not as old. They are much newer. But the other thing that's so nice about, I don't care if you're in Minneapolis or St. Paul, you are not going to get cookie cutter at all. These houses all have their own character. All the neighborhoods have, see, people taking care of their yards. Look at how beautiful this is. So again, another reason why you need to reach out to us, because like I was saying, every neighborhood has a different vibe. Another thing I want to show you about St. Paul, there's a lot of colleges and universities in the Twin Cities just in general. But as we kind of zoom in here, we're going to kind of just start just north of 94. Again, 94 is that corridor that runs all the way through St. Paul and through Minneapolis, is Hamline University. Hamline University is right here. It's just north off Snelling Avenue, north of 94 off Snelling Avenue. There are also a number of other colleges, University of St. Thomas, University of St. Catherine's University. There is Macalester University, Macalester College. There's also another law school around here. So there's just a lot of colleges and universities in St. Paul. So in this area along here, you're going to have a lot of, again, some student housing and single family homes. So it's going to be a mix. It's going to be a mix of apartments. It's going to be a mix of some single family homes that have been turned into rentals, etc. You're also, as you can see, part of St. Paul is separated by the Mississippi River here. This area is called Mac Groveland. It is a very desirable neighborhood to live in because it's close to these universities, and you can get a house very close to the Mississippi River Road, and walking, doesn't matter where you are, either in the state of Minnesota or the Twin Cities area, there's walking paths and biking paths and dirt bike paths and just all of that around here. The last thing I want to talk about are some average price points, because we haven't talked about that. Again, just like in any other city or town, depending on the neighborhood is going to depend on the average price point of any given neighborhood. So I want to just go through a couple of them. This is InfoSparks. InfoSparks is just a bunch of data gathered through the multiple listing service. So I want to just show you just a couple things in general. We're going to talk about St. Paul. St. Paul, first of all, the city of St. Paul, what we're looking at is I want to look back just 1 year, and we're looking at every price range of every property type. It doesn't matter if it's a newly constructed property, meaning it was built in 2023, 2024, or previously owned, and it doesn't matter what kind of a sale it is, whether it's traditional or if it's in foreclosure or whatever the case may be. But we are going to look at median and average sales prices. So for the example, the median sales price in St. Paul is $280,000. The average, however, is $332,000. You always have some outliers when you're talking about the medians. You've got some that are very high, some that are very low, which really skews that average. But anyway, I want to look at a couple of different neighborhoods. We're going to go to some neighborhoods. I want to look at like some of them that we were looking at. Como Park area. Como Park, the average is 300, about, we'll just call that 330, and 322 for the median. I want to look at Matt Groveland. Matt Groveland, a little bit higher, 410 on the median side, 464 for the average. Summit Hill is a lot more expensive, 554,000 for the average price, and the median is 515. Now, if you want to look at some other areas, if you were, let's say we look at Battle Creek, Highwood area, 285 for the median price range, 287. So right around 285 for median price point and average price point. Bottom line is this: you've got to give us a call. Let us know what you're looking for. We can help you navigate through all of these different neighborhoods. I can help you, or my team can help you figure everything out. So just give us a call, and I'll see you on the next video.